Happy Saturday night, Grizzlies fans, and welcome to Cody, Wyoming for the third game of the weekend for the Gillette JV against the Yellowstone Yeti. Knocks it to the side, chipped into the zone by Marty. It'll roll deep. Picked up by Yeti behind their net. They'll come out near side boards. Up across the middle and through the neutral zone to the far boards, lifted into the corner. It'll bounce down low. Tied up in the corner. Rolls behind the net to the far side. Phelps will go down to get it. Knocks it forward, picked up against the boards by the Yeti, tipped shot, poked away by Martin. Bounces to the near side, Davis will pick it up at the point, pass across to Marty in the middle. Marty sends it in, and we're gonna get a change. Yellowstone will pick it up behind their net. Coming up the near boards, bounce through the neutral zone ahead, picked up by Martin, and Yellowstone into the zone, shot, that's it. On the board early, a little under a minute into the game. Driller will send it back out to neutral ice. Koloski battling it forward, picked up by Yellowstone. They'll send it back into their own zone. Out to the near boards. Fair little shot, knock him off the puck, and we'll bounce it back clear. Picked up by Yellowstone at their blue line. They'll pass it forward into the neutral zone, circle back. And Yellowstone working up the near boards. This pass bounces to Bear, he'll send it ahead. Picked up by Koloski. Koloski dumps it into the zone, picked up by Yellowstone, and they'll come back up the far side. And Perry again down to the corner. Circles behind the net. Pass across to the far point. Shot, blocker save Martin. Bounces down low and sent back to the point. Another shot from the point. Scribner out to the dot. Stays Colin Zabrowski on his wing. Yellowstone back in, another shot, Martin with a save. Face off down the defensive zone for Scribner. Knocked behind. Driller will send it up the boards, taken up by Yellowstone. Driller knocks him off the puck and tied up in the corner by Scribner. Back to the point, it'll get out of the zone. Goals deep for Yellowstone. Bounced up the boards, picked back up, still in the zone. Yellowstone will get up to the blue line. They'll come across neutral ice, chip it in deep. Rolls behind the net. Shell there to pick it up. They'll bounce up the boards to the point. Picked up by Yellowstone there. They'll turn, send it across the front of the crease. Shot, kick save, Martin.
Good job, Gerler!
Gerler knocks him off the puck. Scribner will hit Stayskull at the blue line. Stayskull and Sabrowski into the zone. Stayskull working down far side. He'll knock it into the corner. Sent around to the near corner. Picked up by Yellowstone. They'll dump it back up the boards. Knocked back into the zone. Again. Face off, knocked forward. It'll bounce to the near boards for Yellowstone and right back in. Down by Martin, he'll chip up the boards, trying to get it up to Brunner. Tied up against the boards. Kimbley in to help. He'll pick it up, down to the corner. Kimbley sends it across the zone. Picked off at the point. Yellowstone. Drop pass up the boards to the far point. Taken out of the zone by Brunner. Or by Newman, sorry. Yellowstone dumps it back. Will roll wide of their own net, stick the side to the corner. Newman down to the corner. They'll throw it around to the near corner. Yellowstone picks it up on near boards. Brunner, Kimbley, and Newman all battling. Knocks it back in below the goal line. Yellowstone will send it around the far boards. Phelps there. They'll get past it out to neutral ice. Dumped into the near corner. Lesher send it around behind the net to Martin. Martin bounces up the boards to the point. Shot from there. Blockered away by Martin. Bounces back near point. Another shot. Martin with the glove. Marty to the near dot in the defensive zone. Davis and Lesher on the wings. Martin back with Phelps. Phelps, well, picked up by Yellowstone below the goal line. They'll pass out front. Broke it up. Lesher in the corner. Bounces it back up towards Davis. Davis trying to get it out. Bounces back to Phelps. And she'll lift it out to neutral ice. Yellowstone pass up the neutral zone. Davis knocks it loose. It'll roll back into Yellowstone zone. Yellowstone against the far boards. Pass up the boards to neutral ice. Poked away. Marty will dump it in. We'll get clear, and Marty will chase down to the corner. Lesher coming around the near corner. He'll pick up the puck. And knocked away. Yellowstone will get it back out to neutral ice again. And they'll come in near side. Across the zone to the far point. Bounces off a skate. Back to Davis. Davis up to Lesher in the neutral zone. And Lesher across the blue into the Yellowstone zone. He'll knock it down to the corner. Yellowstone picks it up there, sends it back to the point. Stopped by Bora. He'll work down the boards. Bora shot and kicked away. Bouncing puck, picked up. Kimbley working the boards down to the corner. Yellowstone back out across the zone. Up to neutral ice and in. Barry works in, and that's his third of the period. Face off for Kimbley. Koloski battling. Kimbley will dig it out and get across the blue line. And knocked away by Yellowstone. Back out of the zone. Dumped in by Bear, and we're offsides. Neutral zone face off. Kimbley knocks it into the zone. Bounces up in the air. Koloski knocks it forward. And Yellowstone will pick it up below the goal line, up the far boards. Back to the point. Bora down the boards. Rolls to Koloski behind the net. Koloski working behind, out front. Broken up pass. And Yellowstone back out of the zone with it. Bear center ice, and he'll knock it into the zone. Rolls deep. Yellowstone sending out the far boards. Bora will keep it in the zone. Ahead to Bear. Bear pass on net and glove. Scribner will take the draw in the offensive zone. Stays call and Zabrowski on wing. Martin back with Phelps. Zabrowski knocks it down into the corner. Stays call behind the net. Will pick it up. Working back out front. Broken. And Yellowstone's going to come back out with it on the far boards. Yellowstone dumps. Will bounce behind the net. Picked up by Yellowstone. Pass out in front. Another shot knocked down by Martin. Yellowstone circling through the zone, poked away by Scribner. Scribner ahead to Zabrowski, bounces wide. Yellowstone will send it back in. On the far boards, broken up by Phelps. Yellowstone will get it back, pass across the crease, broken up. Bounces to the near point, down to the corner. Yellowstone pass out front. Scribner picks it off. He'll send it forward, up to Stays call, out to the neutral zone. And we're going to get a whistle. I think we got a penalty called on Yellowstone. Yellowstone penalty. I missed what the call was. Looks like it's going to be a 2 and a 10 though. Got two guys in the box. 2-minute penalty showing on the board. Gillette's first power play of the game. Kimbley to the dot in the offensive zone. Knocked into the corner. Yellowstone will pick it up and ice it. Oh, knocked down in the zone by Kimbley. He'll send it on net. Bounce tipped it in. Kimbley throws it from the point and tipped off of somebody and bounces into the far corner. Grizzlies goal number 95, Jace Kimbley. 4-1. Kimbley back to the center dot. Bruner and Newman on the wings. Phelps back with Martin. That'll clear the penalty off. Bounce back to Martin. He'll circle back in the zone, across to Phelps. Phelps plays it off the near boards ahead. Bounces off Yellowstone, we'll get it back clear. Yellowstone picks it up, and they'll retreat to their own zone. Pass ahead to the near boards. Missed and bounces deep. No icing. Martin will go back to get it behind the net. Martin up the boards. Bruner, backhand, doesn't get out of the zone. Rolls back to Yellowstone. They'll come across the front. Shot. Bounced up in the air. Martin with another save. That one's off the post. Rebound. Martin with the save. And Mason Martin will knock down the shot in front of the net. Bounces back to the point. Yellowstone across far side. Phelps stick snaps, but she got the shot knocked out of the way. Tied up at the point. Yellowstone will come out with it. Working across top of the zone. Kimbley with a shot block, and it'll roll back out to neutral ice. Yellowstone regroups. Bounced in near point. Taken off the puck by Martin. Bounces back to Shell. He'll skate it out to neutral ice. Shell working up into the zone. Yellowstone throws it around far side. Shell holds the zone. Shell, shot. Bounced in front and covered up. Lesher, Davis, and Marty out front. Gerler back with Shell. Marty will take the face-off. 9:12 left in the first period. 4-1 Yellowstone. Davis far boards. A little tied up. Yellowstone ends up with the puck, and they'll ice it. Back down the Yellowstone zone. Marty to the dot. Knocked on net and covered up. Quick shot off the draw, and goalie just got tied up in his leg pads. Face off again. We'll send this one back. Shot from the point by Shell, knocked down by the defenseman. Lesher will pick it up on the near boards. Working towards the corner, bouncing across the middle, nothing there. Yellowstone behind the net, down in the corner. They'll pass it out the middle and get it out to neutral ice. Shell picks it up the center line. They'll send it up the boards, bouncing, knocked down to the blue line by Yellowstone. They'll come back across. Yellowstone in, they'll dump it to the far corner, rolls around to the near side for Gerler. Gerler gets past the guy. Gets it out in front. Marty pass ahead, picked off. Rolls back into the Yellowstone zone. They'll bounce boards to the neutral zone. Gerler picks it up, and he'll get it into the Yellowstone zone. Rolls deep. Gerler chasing down. Yellowstone will pick it up and come out from behind the net on the near side, out to the point. Pass back across the blue line, and Yellowstone across neutral ice it in. Working near side. Backhand shot, knocked down by Martin. Shell bounces glass out to neutral ice. And they'll dump it in. Bear behind the net, around to the far corner to pick up the loose puck. They'll send it back across to Gerler on the near corner. Gerler taking ice on the near side, up the boards, pass ahead. Looking for Koloski in the neutral zone. That'll get through, picked up by Yellowstone. And they'll work behind their own goal line. Out of the far corner. Pass to the near boards. Bounces out wide, picked up by Kimbley. Kimbley back in the D zone. He'll send it ahead to Bear. Bear up the boards. And icing called off. Little roll deep. Yellowstone picks it up behind their net. Yellowstone passes to the far boards, into the zone. Poked away by Martin. And Martin will work up the far boards. Drop pass picked off by Yellowstone. They'll circle neutral ice and come back in on the near side. Knocked away down into the corner. Lost the edge. Yellowstone gets it back. Phelps sends it forward. She'll get it back and almost had Bear crossing through the neutral zone. Yellowstone launches it from center ice, and Martin will go up back. Go. Scribner stays called, and Zabrowski out front. Martin and Phelps will stay on D. Scribner off the draw. Yellowstone back to the point, rolls past and out of the zone. Stays called chasing. They'll retreat all the way back in front of their net. Bounce off of Zabrowski. Back to Phelps and ahead to Scribner. Rolling into the zone. Sent back to the blue line. Stays called to Scribner. Shot and glove. Scribner just about got one back in front of the net. But glove before it could get in. Scribner will get a face off on the near dot offensive zone. He'll kick it back to Stays called. Top of the zone for Shell. Shot is blocked. Stays in the zone. Yellowstone will send it forward. Shell at the blue line sends it back up neutral ice to Zabrowski. Zabrowski out in front of Scribner a little bit. Yellowstone will pick it up. Stays call on them. They'll retreat behind their own net and set up. Yellowstone pass to the near boards. Drops back through the zone. Missed pass. They'll try it again. This one up the neutral ice. Broken up by Stays call. Kicks back into the Yellowstone zone. Zabrowski chasing in, but they'll throw it forward to the neutral zone. And Shell plays it, and it'll bounce off a stick and out of play up into the Yellowstone bench. We'll get a neutral zone face-off right in front of the Gillette bench. Looks like we'll go Shell and Bora on D. Kimbley, Brunner, and Newman out at forward. Kimbley will take the face off. Knocked forward, picked up by Yellowstone. They'll dump it into the zone. Bora knocks it to the sideboards, and he'll go chase it down. Up the glass and out of the zone. Yellowstone from the center line. Dump back in off sides. Bora across to Shell. Shell looking up the far side. Yellowstone picks it up, and they'll send it up the boards, right back to Shell. Shell sends it back out to Bruner and across to Kimbley. Kimbley into the zone. Near point, shot, glove. Get a face-off on the near dot this time for Kimbley in the offensive zone. Kimbley lined up over the dot. Newman on his left in front of the net. Bruner on his right against the board. Bora and Shell back. Into the corner. Yellowstone will pick it up. They'll go behind the net with it. Yellowstone out to the near corner. This puck picked up away from the boards, and Yellowstone will get out to neutral ice. Kimbley pokes it away. Shell forward to Newman. Newman digs it out and gets it to neutral ice. Back to Shell. Shell knocks it forward. Up into the ref, keeps it in play. Yellowstone will dump it into the near corner. Bora back to get it. Bora turns. He'll come back towards the corner. Kimbley in to help. Gets it out to the corner for Shell. Shell bouncing it forward. Rolls out neutral ice. Yellowstone will pick it up. Pass across at their blue line. And bouncing through the neutral zone. Yellowstone will pick it up near boards and come in. Lesher takes him off the puck. Bora and Lesher down in the corner working on it. Yellowstone back out top. Poked away and it'll roll out of the zone. They'll dump it in off a ref. Thrown back into the zone. Shell in front of the net. Trying to poke it forward. Knocked down by Yellowstone. Pass out in front and that's it. Center dot face off for Lesher. Marty and Davis on his wings. Lesher sends it into the zone. Yellowstone bounces it back ahead. And they'll take it in near side. Poked away. They'll get it back on the far corner. Martin down into the corner, knocks him off the puck and feeds it forward. Marty will pick it up, get it out of the zone. Marty chasing down the far boards. Into the zone. Cross to Davis. Nothing. Lesher battling it down to the corner. He'll put it out front. Picked up at the top of the zone. Martin shot through traffic. Bounces into the corner. Kicks back up to the point. Sent forward by Martin, but it'll come back to him in the neutral zone. He'll drop it back for Phelps and wait for the clear. Phelps up the boards, dumps in. Rolls deep. Around to the far corner. Yellowstone near side. Take it off the boards. Send it up to the neutral zone. Picked up by Lesher. Across. Phelps pokes it forward. Out in front of Kimbley. Yellowstone will send it back in. Picked up by Martin. They'll send it ahead. Broken up again. Yellowstone, center ice. Loose puck picked up by Kimbley. Kimbley's got, well, they're going to call an interference on Bear. Really? It's interference, but 2:48 left first period. We're going to go on the penalty kill. Kimbley to the dot. Dug out by Shell. They'll send it up the boards. Picked up at the point by Yellowstone. Pass across front of the net. Shot. Martin with a save. Loose puck bounces down behind the net. Comes out near corner. Working up the boards. Kimbley knocks it loose. It'll get out towards the blue line. Poked ahead by Koloski and out of the zone. Yellowstone will dump it back in. Shell far side. They'll send it down, icing on net, sticked away. And picked up by Yellowstone in front of their net. Minute and a half left on the kill. Yellowstone pass up to the neutral zone. They'll send it across the middle, broken up by Kimbley. Yellowstone back to it. Into the zone, working down towards the net, poked away by Shell. Again, poked away by Shell. They'll dump it below the net. Picked up on the near side. Yellowstone from the near corner. Bounces up the boards. It'll roll back out to the point. Pass across the blue line, far side. Dump down in the corner. Pass up top. Shot from there is wide. Bounces back to him in the corner. 45 seconds left on the kill. Working across the zone. Drop pass at the near point. And working down back to the boards. Out top. Poked out of the zone by Koloski. Koloski running it up the near boards. He'll ride it down to the corner. Still chasing on it. Koloski got it kind of tied up down in the corner. Lesher in to help. Yellowstone will come out on the far boards. Bounced ahead. Picked up by Shell, and he'll send it deep. 15 seconds left on the kill. Yellowstone from the near corner. Sent up the boards all the way to the blue line. Picked up there. Drop pass into the zone. And Yellowstone working in. Pass across the front. Martin with a save, and will send it clear. That'll kill the penalty. Lesher, Marty, and Davis crashing into the zone. Gerler and Shell back on D. Yellowstone comes out far side of their net and up the far boards. Yellowstone all the way into the zone. Knocked away by Lesher. Shell in the corner will send it up the glass. Bouncing over a stick and out to neutral ice. Yellowstone will regain the zone on the far side and dump it down into the corner. 15 seconds on the period. Shell around the corner. Shell working forward up to the neutral zone. Yellowstone knocks it back down. Picked up by Davis. Knocked back out of the zone. They didn't call it out of the zone. They didn't catch that one. There's the buzzer. End of the period. Yellowstone 5, Gillette 1. Kimbley, Barron, Koloski out front to open the second. Kimbley will take the draw. Martin and Phelps back on D. Picked up by Yellowstone. They'll skate it in. Phelps will drive them to the corner, and they'll work around behind the net. Kimbley knocks it loose. Kimbley down in the near corner. Tied up. Martin in to help. Yellowstone will come out with it. Working across the front. Puck back to the far point, dumped down the boards by Yellowstone, picked up in the corner. Pass across the middle, top, shot, that's in. Scribner out to the face-off dot, stays Colin Lesher on his wing. Get a little shuffle in the lines here. Yellowstone up the near boards and into the zone. Bounced back out by Martin. Yellowstone will pick it up neutral ice, dump it ahead. And poked away by Martin again. Yellowstone circles in the neutral zone. Pass up the middle. Scribner broke it up. And Lesher will knock it into the zone. Lesher shot, sticked away. Up out of play. Just about a minute into the second period. 6-1 Yellowstone. Scribner at the far dot for the face-off in the offensive zone. Lesher on his wings and Stays Call. Shot, knocked down in front. And bounced back to Shell. Shell sent on net again. Sticked away. Up the glass, Yellowstone will pick it up at the blue line, skate it out to neutral ice. Yellowstone in the near side. Shell riding him down to the corner. They'll go around behind the net. Shell still on him, pass through the middle, broken up. Stays Call, pokes it forward out of the zone. Yellowstone picks it up, neutral ice. Back to their own blue, they'll pass it ahead. Bounces loose and Shell fires it back up. Back to Yellowstone in their own zone. Pass out to the neutral zone, broken up by Lesher. He'll knock it back into the Yellowstone zone. Picked up by Scribner. Scribner shot wide. Kicks out near board. Lesher sends it back around. Down to the corner. Yellowstone will send it back up the boards. Shell holds the zone. Back to Yellowstone. They'll come out to neutral ice. Missed pass there is going to roll the length. There should be an icing on Yellowstone. Gonna face off back down in the offensive zone. We'll go Kimbley, Bruner, and Newman out front. Shell back with Bora. Kimbley to the dot, near side of the offensive zone. Kimbley shot, sticked away, bounced back up the boards. Yellowstone will pick it up. And chipped ahead by Shell, bounces back to him. And he'll send it across the neutral zone. Bouncing back to Yellowstone at their blue line. Across the near side. Yellowstone passes up the blue. Picked off by Bruner and sent back deep. Rolls to the corner, Kimbley chasing. He'll get there. Yellowstone's got it tied up and they'll pick it up behind the net. Yellowstone up the near side. Into the zone. Move across the top, drop pass. Kind of missed and broken up by Shell. Shot from the points behind the net. Yellowstone turns, sends it across the zone. Working down in the corner. Shell trying to battle it loose. Kimbley in to help, and he'll take it around behind the net. Kimbley up to Newman near side. Newman sent forward, rolling into the Yellowstone zone. They'll pick it up and send it up the boards to the blue line. Bora right there to hold the zone, bounces it ahead. And knocked into the corner by Yellowstone. Davis down there. Yellowstone will pick it up, send it around the far side. Lesher coming through, knocks it down in front of the net. Bounces back up the boards to Marty, back down to Lesher behind the net. Taken away. Yellowstone back out far side. Marty will pick it up in the corner. Cross to Davis, shot just wide. Yellowstone dumps it in the near corner. Picked off by Lesher. Up and out of play. Get the puck back out of the stands and face off in the offensive zone. Marty will come to the dot. Lesher on his right in front of the net. Davis against the boards on his left. Martin back with Phelps. Marty off the draw, on net again and sticked aside. Bounce the near boards and Martin in to play it forward. Rolls back down into the corner. Yellowstone will pick it up again. Yellowstone behind their own net. Pass up the near boards missed, and Martin picks it up. He'll knock it back down low. Yellowstone from the corner. Sends it across the zone out to neutral ice. Lesher knocks it forward. Yellowstone will pick it back up. They'll chip it into the zone. Rolls the corner and behind the net for Davis. Tied up down low. Lesher and Davis both there. Rolls out to the corner. Yellowstone pass ahead to the point. Bounced clear by Marty. Lesher got a stick on it. It'll stay out in the neutral zone, and Lesher will fire it deep. Rolls to the near corner. Yellowstone behind their own net. Bounced around the corner. Yellowstone sitting on it at the near boards, and they'll skate up a little bit. Pass across the neutral zone. Bounces off a stick, and Davis will send it forward. It'll roll in near side. Down the near boards and lifted back out to neutral ice. Stopped there by Phelps. Yellowstone will get it back. And Yellowstone in. Back across the front. Shot wide of the net. Bounces out to the corner. Bear trying to knock it loose. Yellowstone shot, stick save Martin. Back through the middle and iced by Gillette. .38 left, second period. Face off down in the D zone. Bounces back out to neutral ice. Bear chasing. Yellowstone will send it back in. Picked up by Gerler. He'll work up to the neutral zone. Ahead to Koloski. Back to Gerler, and Gerler in on the near point. Shot Gerler just wide. Weird bounce off the back boards up in the air. Kimbley will pick it up. Works through the feet. Getting down to the corner, tries to get a shot off a stick. Koloski out to, there it is, Kimbley! Gerler backhand, or Koloski backhand from behind the net, right to Kimbley on the front doorstep, and he'll bury that. 6-2, Yeti. Grizzlies goal number 95, Jace Kimbley. Scribner to the center dot. Sabrowski and Staskal on his wings. Poked ahead by Sabrowski. Back to Scribner, and that'll bounce clear. Yellowstone back out to neutral ice. Shell send it across in front of Staskal into the zone. Pokes it forward and lifted in the air by Yellowstone. That'll roll deep. Back to Shell. Shell, middle of his own zone. Long pass up to Sabrowski on the near boards, and it'll bounce into the zone. Picked up by Yellowstone. Thrown back clear. They'll pick it back up at the blue line. Poked away by Staskal. Yellowstone will get it back. Knocked loose by Scribner, still in the zone. Now Yellowstone will get back out to neutral ice. Yellowstone up across the blue line. Shot. And that'll squeeze in. Kimbley, Bruner, and Newman out front. Gerler back with Shell. Back to Gerler. Gerler will send it forward. Yellowstone knocks it back into the zone. It'll roll back to the corner for Shell. Shell up the boards. Bounces back out to neutral ice. Picked up by Yellowstone. They'll send it across the blue line. Knocked away. Picked up by Newman. She'll send it forward into the zone. And sent clear again. Gerler will chip it in the air down to the corner. We'll get clear. Back up to the point, and Yellowstone will come out to neutral ice. Yellowstone across the blue line, they're offsides. Kimbley, Newman, and Bruner. Kimbley knocks it forward off the draw. Bruner will send it up to the blue line, and Yellowstone Send it back the other way. Picked up by Martin. Yellowstone with a takeaway at the point. Pass across the blue line, broken up. Back to Kimbley. He'll bounce it up to the neutral zone to Newman. Newman feeding it forward, knocked away, and tossed down into the corner. Martin will pick it up behind the net. Up the far boards, ahead to Bruner, knocked away by Yellowstone. Back to the point. Yellowstone ends up at the top of the zone. Now circle across, down to the far or near corner. Back behind the net. We'll get it back. Pass out to the far boards. Tied up by Bruner. Puck rolls back to Kimbley. They'll hit glass and roll it into the Yellowstone zone. Icing's already been called off. Yellowstone will go get it. It'll die right in front of the net. Yellowstone to the far corner. Pass across. Rolls up the near boards. Phelps stops it at the point, sends it back in. Yellowstone will pick it up against the boards. Out to neutral ice. Lost in the feet. Yellowstone picks it back up, and they'll chuck it into the corner on the near side. Rolls behind the net. Martin back to get it. They'll send it around the corner, ahead to the point. Davis there, and it'll bounce clear into neutral ice. Yellowstone picks it up. Across the zone. Pass bounced off Alesher's stick, but Yellowstone gets it back. Phelps taking him off the puck. And Marty around the corner. To Davis near side. Bouncing back through the middle. Marty sends it out in front of Martin. Slow rolling puck down to the zone. Martin puts it back out in the middle. He'll work back to it. Still in the zone. Davis pokes it free against the boards, and Yellowstone will lift it back out to neutral ice. Shell over to the blue line, knocks it forward into neutral ice. He'll pick it up in front of the Yellowstone bench and dump it into the corner. Shell chasing it down himself behind the net. Knocks it loose. Yellowstone below their goal line. They'll send it out the far boards. And come up to the neutral zone. Pass across the blue line on the far side. Yellowstone down the far boards. Poked away by Martin. They'll get it back. Knocked loose in the front of the net. Davis will send it. Bouncing off a Yellowstone stick and all the way down below the goal line. Yellowstone back in their own zone. Up the near boards. Yellowstone in near side. Down to the corner. Pass broken up by Shell. Little kick back to the boards. Yellowstone back to the point. Sends it across. Bora got a stick on it. It'll bounce down into the corner. And broken up by Bear and sent clear. Slow roller's not going to make it icing. Yellowstone will come back and pick it up in the corner. Sent around the far side. And out to neutral ice. 7:45 left second period. Shell picks up the loose puck. Circles in the corner trying to work it up the boards. Bounced ahead to Koloski. Yellowstone knocks it across the zone. Kimbley will pick it up. Kimbley behind the net. Send it out this side. Picked off pass and straight to the back of the net. Gribner, Sabrowski, and Stace call out front. Yellowstone throws it back out to neutral ice. Martin and Phelps back on D. Yellowstone into the zone. Phelps saves a shot. Picked up by Scribner, back out top of the zone. Yellowstone passed through the middle. And shot from the corner, knocked down by Martin. Scribner a little out in front of Stace call, chasing, but that'll be an icing. Just out of Stace call's reach. And we'll change lines again. Kimbley, Bruner, and Newman out front. Phelps and Martin will stay on D. 7 minutes remaining second period, 8-2 Yeti. D-zone face-off. Kimbley battling it forward, picked up by Yellowstone. They'll throw it in the far corner. Come across to pick it up. Circling through the top of the zone. Yellowstone working down to the near corner. Back around behind the net, pass out in front, missed. Rolls into the far corner, picked back up by Yellowstone. They'll circle top of the zone again. drop pass at the point. Thrown down, backdoor pass behind. That shot knocked down by Martin. And Phelps will take it behind the net. To the near corner. Pass back out to the point, across the zone. Shot wide. Martin pokes it into the corner. Kibley will bounce it up glass and out of the zone. And Yellowstone chasing back on it. Icing called off. Yellowstone will pick it up in the corner. Yellowstone out the far boards. It'll get out to neutral ice. Phelps pokes it forward. Picked back up by Yellowstone into the zone. Phelps knocks it away. They'll pass across the front. Lost the handle, rolls into the corner. Center around behind the net to the far corner. Lesher picks it up. He'll bounce it. No, knocked away by Yellowstone. They'll work in. Missed the shot. Lesher picks it back up, and he'll kick it off the boards and out of the zone. Yellowstone in their own zone. Newman into pressure. Yellowstone will come back to the near boards. Pass all the way down, and that'll be an icing. Lesher, Davis, and Marty will come back on. Gerler and Shell on D. Marty to the dot. Sends it just wide of the net. Rolls out far side. Lesher taking him off the puck. Bouncing, and Lesher knocks it down to the corner. Lesher still working on it. Marty down to the boards. Back to Lesher, back to the point for Gerler. He'll rip one. Sticked away. Sent up the boards by Yellowstone. It'll get out to neutral ice. And Yellowstone into the zone. Bounce clear before they can get it on net. Lesher into the corner with a little hit. And it's getting chippy down low. Yellowstone, wrap around, nothing there. Dug out of the pile by Shell. And that'll send Lesher into the box for two. Roughing on Lesher. And Yellowstone's got one in the box too. I think they're going to be offsetting. .451 left, second period. Yellowstone apparently wants to argue the offsetting penalty down in the corner. So we'll go 5-on-5. Off the draw, Bear picks it up into the zone. Shot off the stick, bouncer, and glove. Do a far dot face off. Kimbley over the dot. Bear and Kowalski on his wings. Shell back with Gerler. Bear trying to get the shot off. Knocked into the corner. Kimbley working down there. Kowalski knocks the pass down, and he'll dig it out of the feet. Kowalski pushing. No. Yellowstone will pick it back up at the boards and throw and clear. Shell at center ice. Shell works to the near side. Looking up the boards. He'll lift it off the top of the glass. We'll continue play. Kimbley back to Shell. Shell up the boards to Bear. Bear bouncing it through. Knocked down by Yellowstone, and they'll get the zone back. Gerler sends it back out. Yellowstone's offsides. They'll have to get cleared. Gerler will pick it up in the near corner. Up the glass, trying to get it to Bear, a little out front. Yellowstone picks it up the blue line. Bounced up the boards to neutral ice. Yellowstone across the neutral zone and in on the far point. Shell knocked it loose. They got it back. Another shot, and that one's in. Scribner to the dot. Zabrowski and Skate-Skull on his wings. Bounce forward to the blue line. Yellowstone back out to neutral ice. Rolls past everybody back to Martin. Martin near side of the zone. They'll send it back across the blue to Scribner, taken away by Yellowstone. They'll get clear and back into the zone, knocked away by Phelps. Up to Stayscall. Stayscall pokes it forward, picked up by Scribner. Scribner will dump it into the boards, rolls around the far corner. Zabrowski down there to challenge for it. He'll knock it back below the goal line. Pass across the back, picked up by Yellowstone. Scribner turns, sends it across the top of the crease into the corner. Zabrowski through the middle looking for Stayscall off his skate and knocked loose. Yellowstone back out to neutral ice, picked up by Phelps. Phelps sends it ahead across the blue line. Stayscall chasing along the far boards. Back to Scribner. Scribner, shot, sticked away up in the air. And picked up by Yellowstone, top of the zone. They'll send it clear. Rolls past Martin and back into the Gillette zone. Bouncing through the middle. Pass across, backdoor on the near side. Knocked down by Martin. Rebound kicked away by Martin. Far boards, Brunner sends it clear. Zabrowski chasing him all the way back into the zone. Yellowstone will turn and come up to neutral ice. Yellowstone in the top of the zone. And we'll circle back out the blue line. Knocked off their feet, and here comes Kimbley up the near boards. Kimbley in. Shot in the corner. Grizzlies goal number 95, Jace Kimbley. Jace Kimbley with the Hattie in the second period. I believe he's got all 3 goals if I remember right. Rolls into the near corner, bounced back up the boards, and sent ahead out of the zone. Slow roller back into the Yellowstone zone. Newman chasing. Pass out to the blue line. Tipped and rolls deep. Picked up by Shell. Shell up the glass out to neutral ice. Picked up by Yellowstone, and they'll chuck it back into the far corner. Ora back to get it. Ora sends it around near side. Yellowstone picks that off. They won't get the shot off. It'll bounce into the corner and sent around by Shell. Back to the point. Yellowstone sends it down the boards. Picked up behind the net by Yellowstone. Shell working and Lesher down low. Yellowstone around behind the net on the near side. Out to the corner, pass through the middle, broken up. And Shell knocks the shot down, still loose right at the top of the crease. Kicks back below the goal line. Yellowstone in the corner. Ora into battle, rolls up the boards to the point. Yellowstone will send it back down the glass to the corner. Shell behind the net, sends it back around. Newman near side boards, she'll get it back out to Brunner, clear. And picked off by Yellowstone, trying to get it back to Lesher, and Yellowstone stepped in front. Rolls deep for Shell behind the net. Shell far corner. And he'll lift it off the boards and bouncing out to neutral ice, picked up by Yellowstone. Yellowstone through the middle. They'll come in near side, shot, and offsides. 22 seconds left in the second period, 9-3 Yellowstone. Lesher, Davis, and Marty out front. At the near dot in the neutral zone. Lesher will take the face-off. Knocked forward to Yellowstone. Yellowstone will send it in, and there's the end of the period. We'll go to Zam break. I'm not sure how that happened. 9-3 Yellowstone headed into the Zam break. Marty on his wings. Martin back with Phelps. Back to Martin off the draw. Yellowstone will pick it up on the far boards. Thrown behind the net. Bounces out near side. Phelps breaks it up. They'll take it back behind the net. Martin kicks it back to the corner. And Marty bouncing it back to the point. Kicks back through the middle, picked up. Shot, sticked away high. Up out of play. Five-goal differential in the third, so we are on run time. Marty to the dot, kicks it to the side. And Yellowstone will come back out with it. Shot, blockered away. Bounces to Lesher. Up the boards out in front of Marty. Marty across the neutral zone. In on the far side. Pass across Davis. Shot, in! Third time's the charm. Grizzlies goal number 50, Luke Davis on assist from 17, Gavin Marty. Back out to the center dot for Lesher. Knocked over to the far boards. Yellowstone knocked loose at the blue line by Marty. It'll roll to the near boards, and Yellowstone picks it back up, back in their own zone. Thrown out to the far side. Yellowstone throws it up the boards, right to Martin. Martin hanging on to it. Battled back to the near boards. Down to the corner. Rolls behind the net. Yellowstone will pick it up in the corner. Pass back ahead to the point. And sent in on net, sticked away by Martin. Whipped around to the near side. Out at the point, Yellowstone will pick it up and circle back in their own zone. Yellowstone across the blue line. And they'll work up the far boards into the zone. Knocked away by Lesher, bounces it back to Newman. Newman ahead to Koloski. Koloski up to the middle. Koloski in far point. Shot blocked and up in the air, out of play. Kimbley, Koloski, and Newman out front. Shell back with Bora. Over to the sideboards. Koloski knocked, well, Kimbley will bang into the corner. Back to Bora at the point, will roll past. And Yellowstone in the neutral zone. Bora on the back check, pokes it loose. Yellowstone gets it back. Bora knocks him off the puck. Back to Shell, he'll send it up the boards. Picked up at the point by Yellowstone. Shot, weird bounce off the ice. And deflects wide. Back out to the near point. Taken away by Shell. Koloski back to Shell, and Shell will take it in far side. Shot, a little wide, rolls into the near corner. Picked up by Newman. She'll send it across the middle to Koloski, just wide and poked away by Yellowstone. Down into the corner. Koloski, backhanded pass out, picked off by Yellowstone. They'll get out to neutral ice. Bora knocks it forward into the ref and picked up by Kimbley. Kimbley in far side, working down to the corner. Rolls behind the net. Yellowstone there. Kimbley and Newman. Newman lifts a stick. Kimbley pokes back to Yellowstone. Yellowstone pass across behind the net, and they'll come out far boards. Bora ahead, keeps it in the zone. Picked up by Koloski, and he'll send it on net glove. We'll play it up the near side. Yellowstone poked away by Scribner. Yellowstone will get it back in the zone. Down to the corner. Scribner and Shell working. Shell with the takeaway pass right out in front of the net. Poked away by Martin. Stays called. Near board. Sends it out clear. And that'll be an icing. Face off back down in the Gillette zone. Yellowstone, pass through the crease, broken up. Martin pokes it loose to the far boards. Another shot knocked down by Scribner. They'll send it ahead. Scribner gets it back, and he'll get it out to neutral ice. Still battling it forward and into the Yellowstone zone. Yellowstone in their own, and they'll come across the blue line and out to neutral ice. Yellowstone far board shot, deflected wide off of Zabrowski's stick, picked up by Scribner, and Scribner will get out to neutral ice with it. Scribner working in the middle, gets hooked up, no call, and well, they will get the hooking call. Hooking call on Yellowstone will go on a power play. 9-4 lead for Yellowstone. Just under 13 left in the game. Face off down in the Yellowstone zone. Knocked in the corner by Kimbley. Yellowstone will pick it up on the far boards and send it back out to neutral ice. Long pass, broken up by Phelps. Yellowstone will get it back on the boards. Phelps with the takeaway, and she'll work down to the corner with it. Pass across, Brunner on the far side, gets it out of the zone. Picked up by Yellowstone at center ice. They'll go across the blue line and up the far boards, dumped in. No icing on the penalty kill. Yellowstone picks it back up near boards, back to the point. Yellowstone working through the middle, broke it up, and it rolls in. Puck rolls just wide of Mason, or just wide of Martin's leg, and sneaks into the corner. And it's 10-4. Still got minute 20 of power play for Gillette. Davis, Marty, and Lesher out front. Yellowstone will bounce back to the neutral zone. Shell and Gerler back on D. Thrown into the zone. Rolls into the corner. Gerler digs it out. Gerler ahead to Marty at the blue line. And he'll come up to the neutral zone. Picked up by Lesher. Lesher and Marty. Lesher over to Marty. Rolls to the far boards. Marty will pick it up in the corner. Back across the crease. Off a stick and to the near boards. Sent clear. Martin will dump it behind for Shell. Shell picks it up and comes out of the far corner. Up ahead to Marty. Marty kicks it back forward to Shell. Shell into the zone on the far point. Shot, knocked into the corner. Shell pass across the front. Knocked down by the goalie. And sent back up the boards. Gerler will pick it up at center line. Gerler back ahead to Marty. And thrown deep. It rolls all the way around to Davis on the near boards. Sends it behind the net. Far corner. Yellowstone picks it up. Go in behind the net and out to the near boards. 15 seconds left to power play. Gerler will send it in off sides. Rolls deep and will get clear. Yellowstone behind their own net. Sent around to the near side. Gerler at the point. It'll get past. Rolls back to neutral ice. Picked up by Shell. And we're back to 5-on-5. Shell ahead to Koloski in the neutral zone. Over in front of Lesher. Bounces off the boards and down below the goal line. Yellowstone to the near corner. And they'll work up to neutral ice. Yellowstone in on the far point. Lesher takes him into the boards and knocks him off the puck. Bouncing puck out in front. Lesher sends it up and out to neutral ice. Newman chasing. And they'll poke it to the near boards. Picked up by Lesher across to Koloski, middle of the zone. Shot up over the net. Yellowstone will pick it up down low. Out to the far boards. Pass out to the blue line, and Yellowstone across neutral ice. And they'll lob it in wide of the net, covered up by Martin. (10-4) Yeti, under 10 minutes left in the third period. Kimbley, Koloski, and Newman out front. Martin and Phelps back on D. Bounce below the goal line. Kimbley down to battle for it. Yellowstone out front. Poked out by Martin. And ahead to Kimbley. Kimbley out of the zone. Kimbley working up center ice. They'll take it down to the near corner. Back across the crease. Nothing there. Yellowstone picks it up far boards. Martin pokes it away in the neutral zone. He'll bounce it up the boards and into the zone. Over to Koloski. Koloski fires and glove. still rolls. We're coming up on 9 minutes left in the game. We go Sabrowski, Scribner, and Stays call out front. Scribner to take the draw. And it's in! Scribner scores. Grizzlies goal number 76, Landon Scribner. 10-5. Center dot, Scribner knocks it back to Martin. Martin shovels ahead to Sabrowski. Poked loose and rolls back to Yellowstone. And they'll send it up to the neutral zone. Knocked away by Phelps. And ahead to Stays call. Stays call over to Scribner. Scribner back in top of the zone. Poked loose. Picked up by Sabrowski. Knocked off the puck. Scribner will get it back. Shot blocked in traffic. And Yellowstone back out with it. Dumped back to Phelps. Phelps ahead. Sabrowski on the far side. Yellowstone back across the neutral zone in at the far point. Working through the middle. And over the net. Martin knocks him off the puck. It'll roll into the corner. And he's going to get boarded. There's going to be a call on Yellowstone. Cross check on Yellowstone. We'll go on the power play for 2. Just over 8 minutes left in the game. Back down in the Yellowstone zone for a face-off. Kimbley, Brunner, and Bear out front. Shell back with Bora. Kimbley will take the face-off. Bora holds the zone. Shell sends it back ahead. Picked up by Yellowstone and back out of the zone. Bear will pick it up in the neutral zone and send it in. Kimbley knocked it loose. Yellowstone will get it back in their own zone. And Yellowstone circling up the far boards. Into the zone. And there's going to be a penalty. Tripping on Bear. And a lot of talking from the Yellowstone side of the rink. And we will have a tripping call on Gillette. Face off down in the Gillette zone will be 4-on-4 for 1:41. Lesher and Davis out front. Shell and Bora back. Lesher up out of the zone with it. Loose puck. Davis forward to get it. Up to Lesher. Lesher across the blue. He'll send it through traffic, knocked down. And Yellowstone back behind their own net. Yellowstone up through neutral ice. Bounced into the zone. Lost the handle. Shot. And that's it. Yellowstone player after the goal. Lesher and one of the Yellowstone guys. A lot of talking going there. They'll both go into the box. 7:20 remaining. Yellowstone up 11-5. It should be offsetting penalties, which will leave us 4-on-4 after the goal. Davis and Marty out front. Shell back with Bora. Marty will take the face-off. And knock back to Yellowstone. They'll pass across to the near side. Bounce it down into the corner. Bora back to get it. And that was just a little collision. They're going to call a penalty on Davis for that. It's 11-5 Yellowstone. We're going to go 4-on-3 now for about a minute. Marty to the dot on the near side of the D zone. Davis in the box. I'm going to assume that was an interference. Back to the point. Hard for the save. Rolled out the far boards and out of the zone. Yellowstone ices it. And the clock is a little off. Clock still runs. Kimbley knocks it back below the goal line. 4-on-3 for another 8 seconds. Yellowstone down to the corner. Shell, ride it around. Pass across the front. Missed the net. Bounced out to the point. Picked up by Yellowstone. And it'll be 5-on-3 for about 10 seconds. Yellowstone, pass across the front. Four and a half to go. Icing called on Yellowstone. We'll go face off down the Yellowstone zone. Bear will take the face off. Koloski and Brunner on the wings. Martin back with Phelps. Back to Phelps at the point. Phelps down the boards to Brunner. Brunner across the middle. Bear on net and covered up. Back out front, rolls wide. Martin will keep it down in the zone. Now it pokes loose. Have to get offsides, and Yellowstone will pick up the loose puck. Going back out to neutral ice. Martin knocks it down. We'll get back on sides. Martin dumped in the near boards, picked up by Yellowstone, and they'll send it around. Taken away by Sabrowski. Poked loose before he can get the shot off. Bounces back across the zone into the near corner. Kicks back to Phelps at center ice. Phelps sends it ahead to Sabrowski. Sabrowski knocked away by Yellowstone. Martin knocks it loose. Kicks back to Scribner. He'll send it up to Stace Call. And ahead to Sabrowski. Sabrowski in on the near point. Sabrowski, shot, sticked away wide. Rolls the near corner. Stace Call out. Shot, a little wide. Shell from the far point sends it down the boards. Yellowstone back up the far boards. We'll pick it up and out to the neutral zone. Good poke by Bora to knock it loose. Pass across the front, missed the shot. Lesher sends it around behind the net. We'll roll to the near corner. Picked up by Yellowstone. Lesher in with a little hit against the glass. Send up the boards to Yellowstone. Sabrowski working. Bounces in the air back in front of Sabrowski. They'll get it over to Scribner now to neutral ice. Scribner working in and dumps it to the corner. Lesher far corner. Thrown towards the net, picked up by Yellowstone. Bear knocked it loose, and Yellowstone will get it back. Pass across top of the crease, nobody caught it, rolls into the corner. Send down low. Yellowstone out front, broken up. They'll get it back, and lobbed wide of the net. Down to the far corner. Bounces up in the air, Bear will kick it up into the bench. Davis, Lesher, and Bear out front. Shell back with Bora. Bear will take the face-off. Kicks across the zone, rolls to the near boards, picked up by Davis. He'll send it across the zone and clear. Yellowstone dumps it back in offsides. Shell will pick it up in the corner, about a minute left to play. Shell behind the net, sends it around Davis near side. Shell back up the boards to Davis again. It'll bounce back out in front of Shell, and he'll get out to neutral ice. Pass ahead to Lesher. Knocked loose. And kicks into the Yellowstone zone. To the near corner. Lesher, big hit, dumped into the boards. That'll be a penalty on Gillette with about 35 seconds left. Yellowstone still got the puck. They'll set up behind their net. Short time on the clock. Bounce to the near boards. Yellowstone up into the neutral zone. Bora will touch it up. And we'll get the whistle. "15 seconds left on the clock. We get one more face-off down in the defensive zone. Davis, Bora, and Shell out. Well, they ran off the door. We're down to 12 seconds. Off the draw, kicks in front of the net. Bora knocks it back to the corner. Shell back to Bora. Out in front. No, won't go. Martin with a save, and will ice it. That'll do it. Final score, Yellowstone 13 and Gillette 5. We'll be back for one more tomorrow morning.